started working with Nicky 90 days ago, I was in a whirlwind of uncertainty. I had no clear direction, no idea how I was going to attain that. Now, after 90 days, new doors have opened. Things that I didn't know were even achievable have happened for me. Personal artist journey, I went from putting a year of work into learning the creative path of musical theater, and then was cast in a semi-pro production for musical theater, which I'm now in rehearsals for, which is pretty exciting. And I just have a better sense of pacing. You can do more than one thing, but you're never going to be able to pour from an empty cup. And pacing yourself and being patient and resting where you need to is better than trying to go after and hustle for money and try and find the next big thing that's going to hit. If it's going to hit, it's going to hit, and you have no control over that. So being able to just take things as they come and maneuver from there. I think the biggest win I can say after 90 days is I really know myself a lot better and what I'm not willing to do versus just being open to whatever comes my way and being a lot more intentional with what I'm doing. And I feel that's a giant win, because when I started with Nicky, I was kind of a blank canvas of whatever happens is going to happen. And now I'm very focused into what is possible for me. I think the biggest problem for me was marketing and getting a sense of how to market in the world of 2024 with crazy social media algorithms and websites and what you do in 2024. Getting a feel for the world of marketing now and just seeing what works and doesn't work was definitely super helpful. What sparked your decision to work with Nicky? Who she was and just her skill set was obviously a huge spark for me, but also just seeing her results and seeing what she could turn around in the last year. I felt really inspired to work with her. Plus, we are aligned on so many different things in terms of spirituality, in terms of mental health, in terms of our own personal journeys. It just felt like the right person to work with. Biggest fear, I guess, was failure. But with Nicky as a coach, like, she gets you in those moments when you're feeling really low about all of the things and is able to support you through those and remind you just how strong you are and how good you are doing in your journey, and reminds you that sometimes patience and rest is part of that journey. I just knew it intuitively and in my core. It was a no-brainer to work with Nicky. It was just a matter of making the other aspects of my life work towards getting into that direction of working with Nicky. And when they did, I was super glad, because I knew she got it better than most coaches. She's been on disability herself. She's come out of the disability world herself. She had the grueling corporate burnout. She knew how to get out of it. And to me, working with someone who's been through it versus someone who is just a business coach who hasn't lived through hardship and hasn't lived through health journeys, it was just way too aligned to not work with Nicky. I think what I loved most about the journey and the experience of working with Nicky was just her availability and accountability coaching aspect of just like, you hear from her usually within 6 to 12 hours instead of the 24-hour norm, which is most coaches. So you get instant answers to your questions, instant comments and coaching back when you're having those low points or those celebrating those wins. She is a cheerleader without pom-poms. So Nicky is the cheerleader when you need her. She's the shoulder to cry on when you need her. And above all, she brings in her expertise and her experience to help when those points hit that you need that expertise and that guidance.